Hello, True Health Seeker. I am so excited to tell you about Ty Bollinger's live event that's coming up, The Truth About Cancer. You can watch the entire thing for free. So what I want you to do is I want you to get free tickets to access the live stream that's happening October 5th through 7th. And all you have to do is go to learntruehealth.com/live. That's learntruehealth.com/live. Put in your name and email address, and boom, you will have access to all of the experts and all of their lectures. It's really exciting. It's 3 very powerful days packed with amazing information, and you'll be able to access it on your mobile device, on your phone, your tablet, your computer. As long as you can access the internet, you can watch the entire live streaming event. Go to learntruehealth.com/live. That's learntruehealth.com/live to get the free access. Please share that link with your friends and family so we can help as many people as possible to prevent and beat cancer. Enjoy today's show. It's a fantastic interview. I'm excited for you to hear it. Welcome to the Learn True Health podcast. I'm your host, Ashley James. This is episode 181. I am so excited for today's guest. Adam Scheible is an amazing transformation coach, and I'm having a lot of fun actually looking at his website, transformationcoach.me, because he's got these really cool pictures of these amazing women who look totally transformed. And it's fun. It's like the scrolling thing that goes by, and you see these women who kind of look happy before, and then they look ecstatically happy afterwards, and they're losing the inches and the pounds. And weight loss is it's everywhere, right? Everyone's got a book, everyone's got a clinic or a method or a pill or a surgery. And I feel like there's so much misinformation out there. Over 1/3 of the population is obese, and it's definitely something that we need help with, but we need help with in a holistic and healthy way that allows us to lose the weight once and be done with it, and heal our life on multiple levels and stop getting into what Adam calls the black hole of fitness doom, which I have been guilty of being sucked into the black hole of fitness doom. Yo-yo diets are not fun, and I feel like I'm a dieting expert. I've done over 30 diets in my life, so I'm so happy to have Adam here today. He's going to share with us some really amazing information. His goal is to teach us things that we can learn right now and apply to our life so we can walk away and have some successful results in our life. Adam, welcome to the show.
Ashley, I am honored to be here. I'm so excited. I'm a fan of the show, and it's just so awesome to be here. I appreciate you sharing your platform with me so that I can share this message, and I'm going to bring a lot of energy to your show. That's my guarantee.
Awesome. Well, I love, you were telling me before we hit record that you like my podcasting voice. Well, I have to tell you, I like your podcasting voice.
Oh yeah.
So
We're
this is
podcast
going to
buddies
be
now.
like a sweet episode. We got 2 beautiful podcasting voices talking
Yes,
about what we
yes.
love most, which is holistic health. Well, before we get into how you help people to successfully drop many pounds, I'm seeing these pictures of men on your website lost over 100 pounds, women losing over 150 pounds, and they're happy and fit, and they don't look emaciated or sick. They look really, really just happy and healthy, which is obviously the key. We want people to be healthy at the end of their weight loss, and then some. And so you're doing this wonderful work, but you don't just teach people how to do calories or what to eat, because you could go anywhere for that. You're helping people figure out what this problem was in their life that keeps repeating itself, or kind of these black holes that you can't see until you've been sucked into. But before we get into that, I'd love for you to share your personal story, because you have come a long way yourself.
That is correct, and it's something that I'm really proud of. Leading by example is very important to me. So about 10 years ago now, I was at a point in my life where I weighed 327 pounds. And I remember a specific day where I was in the grocery store, and it wasn't just my weight. It was kind of that whole downward spiral of, man, there's a lot of stuff that's not going right in my life right now. And I remember standing in the grocery store. I had $40,000 worth of credit card debt racked up. I'm way overweight. I'm having health issues with my blood pressure, already at age 27. And I just remember kind of having that rock bottom moment. And one of my friends had suggested some personal growth material to look at. And I don't know if you've ever watched or read the book, The Secret, about the law of attraction, but they let me borrow that. And I went home and I watched it, and it talked about, we attract what we think about most, what we obsess over. And I started just realizing that for things to change, I had to change. So that night I sat down and I set a 5-year set of goals. And I kind of worked backwards from 5 years. I just set the biggest goals I could dream of. And I set a date. All right. So it was July 9th, and it was 5 years ahead. So I set this goal. I have this plan. I've got all this energy, and I put it into action. And one of my goals was to lose 100 pounds. So fast forward to that date, I was actually a week late on my goal, but every day, every morning, every night, I read my goals out loud, like I meant them, like I felt it.
Wow.
And 5 years of that, and I achieved every single goal, from being a guy that weighed 327 pounds, overweight, in debt, no relationship, nothing, to being married, having a child, having a fitness studio, lost over 100 pounds, zero debt, thriving business. And it was because of that law of attraction. I don't really, know if it's like some magical formula, but I know that what you think about, what you focus on is important. And that really brought me through. So that was kind of my story. I really had to hack it out and try a lot of different things. And my learning curve was not very short. There's a lot of information out there, like you said, and there's so many options. You can get that paralysis by analysis. But I kind of figured it out, and I lost 100 pounds. And then I realized how much of a difference that made for me. And that's why I opened up my fitness studio. And in my hometown, Bloomington, Indiana, I'm a Midwestern guy. I'm kind of the un-Hollywood trainer. I'm very Midwest. You'll never see me like working out in a Speedo with my abs shining in front of a waterfall. It's always, usually like my dog is in the background or something like that in a cornfield. So I opened up my fitness studio, and I basically created all these programs. I didn't ever study anybody else's stuff. I was like, okay, well, this is what worked for me: hard work, eating clean, being consistent with it. And I created this thing that I now call the Amazing Results Formula. And we'll get into that in a second. But I applied that to my boot camp program. And the weirdest thing happened. The next 5 years, my hometown lost 35,000 pounds. So,
that's so amazing.
So just in my hometown alone, I've got 15 clients that have lost over 100 pounds. So we've really made an impact. And it's just, it makes you feel so good that, I've been able to change my own life. I've been able to help all these people in my hometown. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to set a bigger goal. So I call my next set of goals, it's my 1 million pound mission. So I'm on a mission to produce 1 million pounds of weight loss globally. I want to, whether it's in our country, anybody that can understand my Midwestern accent and watch my videos and do my workouts and listen to my podcast and get inspired by anything that I do, anything I put online or, whatever. And I want to produce 1 million pounds of impact. And that's kind of why I've been podcasting and blogging and doing all this stuff and bringing programs online. So that's my story. That's kind of where we're at right now, building my own transformation, impacting my local community, and then taking all of that and making a 1 million pound impact.
That is so cool. Now, what about keeping the weight off? Like, there should be some I don't know, way of tracking that. We lose 1 million pounds and we keep it off, because the
Right.
biggest black hole is the yo-yoing. Is we lose the weight and then it comes back, or we lose weight then it then more comes back, because we never address the root cause and lifestyle changes. So how do you help people to ensure that this is the permanent and healthy changes they needed?
Right. So that's where we get into what we both kind of started to refer as the black hole of fitness doom, where, I like to name things. You guys in Learn True Health land will soon realize that I like to name things. I create processes. One of my, what I refer to as my unique abilities is, I like to help people visualize their transformation process. So instead of just trying, we do a lot of trying. I tried this diet, a lot of random hit and miss guessing. I did this for a while. I did that for a while. I think that worked. Maybe it didn't. And I like to put structure and rules and some strategy and some thinking. And I like to get on my whiteboard and draw things out for people. We'll talk about, I've created a little bonus blog piece for you guys where I get some of my whiteboard videos so you can help visualize some of this stuff that we're going to talk about. But the concept of the black hole of fitness doom is the game changer, because so many people just, get sucked in. Like you said, I use the analogy of driving a car. Let's say we're driving a car and we want to get from point A to point B, but there's this giant hole in the road, and we just decide to drive the car and we land right in the middle of the hole. And instead of addressing the hole, we decide, you know what, I'm going to grab my bike, and we ride the bike down the road and we drive it right into the hole. And then we say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just walk, or grab a friend and we'll both walk, we'll run. And you'd run right into the hole. And so the methodology isn't the issue. So the diet, the exercise routine, that's not the issue. The issue is the hole in the road. So let's fix that so we can get better results no matter what we're trying. So that is what we're looking at with the black hole of fitness doom. So
Right. Like, there's so many diets out there, and if you've been on 10 diets or 20 diets, or like I can count over 30 diets I've been on my lifetime, it's like, okay, yeah, not every diet is right for every person, but if you keep running into the same problem, it's not the diet, it's the problem.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter the vehicle, like the vehicle that's going over the bump, doesn't matter what vehicle. The fact is that there's a bump in the road. I really like that, because I think a lot of people let their sort of the stuff that's in their blind spot, and people sometimes don't want to look at the emotional issues or look at the, how they trip themselves up, but we do. And what I love about your story is every day you looked at your goals, because that kept you on track. And so the days that you gained 5 pounds instead of losing, a quarter pound or whatever, if you were measuring yourself on those days when your body decided to get bloated because you maybe ate something you didn't realize was one of your black holes, if you weren't looking at your goals every day and being present to with the results you wanted in your future, then you might have given up. Like that might have been the thing. Like I can't tell you how many times I get on the scale, I'm like, how is it? What do you mean? We're like, what? How?
Yep.
I didn't even eat, that much food yesterday or whatever. Like I could have a 1,500 calorie day and gain 5 pounds, but it's not. Yep. But the idea isn't there wasn't 5 pounds of fat. The body goes through cycles. The body can retain water. The body could lose that water retention. And if we look at a result, like I don't think I lost enough weight and then give up. I gave a really cool diet book. It was a very holistic diet to one of my friends who she does not eat healthy. But she cooks her own food. So at least that there's hope for her. Like she could learn how to cook healthy. And it's a diet that like one of my naturopathic friends says absolutely all of her clients have great success on. So I thought, this is fantastic. I gave it to her, and it comes with lots of recipes. And next time I saw her, I said, how did it work out for you? She goes, and the diet says, no matter what, you need to stick with this for 6 weeks. Like do not even look at a scale, like just stick with it for 6 weeks before you ever judge it. She said after 2 weeks, her clothing wasn't loose, so she gave up. She goes, but my rings started falling off my hands, but that was just water. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that was systemic inflammation. That was the first step to healing. Yes. You ate healthy for 2 weeks, and then because your pants weren't fitting looser, you gave up. Like, even though the book says stick with it for 8 weeks, or 6 weeks. So we do this to ourselves where we will sabotage our own efforts because we're not looking at the end result that we want. And so you kept your focus on, this is my goal. Every day look at your goal. I think that's incredibly powerful, and also strong-willed of you to every day, even if the times seem tough, even if, 100 pounds seems like building your own rocket ship and going to the moon. You kept your focus on it as if it was going to actually happen. You know what I mean? Like, I believe with every fiber of my being, I'm going to create this. And that kept you on track no matter what the little bumps in the road happened. So I think that's a brilliant methodology to use, because I think a lot of people write their goals and then they put it in a drawer somewhere. And then a year later they come across their goals and they're like, oh yeah, haha, I wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a trend now where people are really into the hacks and the shortcuts, and they're obsessed with like, how do I get a 5-minute workout that will equal a 2-hour workout and all this stuff. And like, we lose sight of, you know what? I need to work hard, and I need to work hard consistently, and I need to focus, and I need to eat clean. And that's why my stuff works. There's no tricks. It's not here, try this hack, eat this, Bolivian superfood and it will melt the fat off your body. It's like, no, let's work hard and let's be focused. Let's be consistent, and then the results happen. So that's the way I got my results, and that's the way I've been able to help other people. And so the black hole of fitness doom concept, it's super, super important to understand. And if you guys aren't driving, if you're at home, I'll help you kind of draw this out, because it's a 4-phase cycle. And it's important to understand this. It's simple, but very important. So if you draw a circle and break the circle up into 4 sections, so like a top section, a right section, a bottom section, and a left section. So the top section is where we want to write start a new program. This is where we get excited. You're like, I'm going paleo, yo, or I'm ketoing it, or I'm, joining a gym, or I'm doing Weight Watchers, or I'm going gluten-free. You start a new thing. That's the first phase at the top. Then you draw an arrow to the right side where we get initial results because we're fired up. It's like your friend that, the first few weeks or the first few days, she's probably into it. She's like, all right. And then you get down to day 14 and she's like, oh, started finding excuses as to why she needed to quit. So the initial results happen though, and people can get psyched about that. They do a 2-week weigh-in, they're down a few pounds, they're down 10 pounds, and that excitement builds. But then inevitably, the bottom of the circle, the third component there is what I call life happens. So something happens where we get sick, our schedule at work changes, there's an injury, there's a stressful time period, and we weren't ready for that life happens moment. And that leads to the left side of the circle, phase 4, which is the crash and burn, and it leads right back into start a new program. So like I said, with the hole in the road, people need to stop focusing so much on the first phase, that start a new program, and focus down on the bottom, let's get ready for those life happens moments and be better prepared for those, and actually think about them ahead of time if possible. And we can start dominating those situations. Then we can make progress. That's where real progress happens. But I mean, so many people go through this, and then every trip through the cycle, you decrease your willpower because you feel like people get to the point where like, man, maybe I'm not supposed to lose weight. Maybe this is just me.
It's genetic.
They lose hope, but also all the time, the money, the effort you're putting into it. And it's harder, and not even to mention how hard it is on your body to gain and lose back and forth. So it's physically harder, it's metabolically harder, but that's why I call this is where your transformation goes to die. And so many people get trapped in this. That's why it's my mission to teach this concept. I'm so, I feel so lucky to be here with you on your platform and be able to express this. But, it's so important for people to just realize, hey, I need a wake-up call because I'm focusing on the wrong part of the cycle. And if you can shift your focus, we can get the job done. So that's the basic explanation of the black hole of fitness doom.
I love it. I just this weekend was watching videos by Dr. Amen, who is he's a psychologist he's written several books on this, but this blew me away. This is the motivator that if you're not motivated to lose weight and keep it off now, you will be after you hear this. He has clinics all across the states, and him and his colleagues have done well over 20,000 brain scans. And the brain scan shows the amount of vascular flow to the brain. And so it looks like a healthy brain looks like this big potato where there's no holes. It's kind of lumpy. And he says, like, there's different colors. He goes, don't worry about the colors. Just see that it looks like a brain, right? And the scan shows that there's blood flow, healthy blood flow to every part of the brain. Then he has these scans that look like Swiss cheese. And you're thinking to yourself, this has got to be someone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, something like that. And you're thinking maybe this is an old person, or maybe this person, was in a car accident or had a stroke. And he's like, this person is someone who's heavy. They correlated because they have enough data now, like tens of thousands of brain scans, where they correlated that the heavier someone is, because they also do these brain scans, they're working with these patients, and so they could do these brain scans as they gain weight and as they lose weight. The more weight you gain, the smaller your brain becomes, the less cognition you have, and thus the less cognition you have, the more intelligence you've lost, and the ability to make smarter choices goes away. So then the more weight we have, is also related to the inability to make healthier or smarter choices for ourselves because you have a smaller brain. Literally, it can show up as a smaller brain. And because the same things that cause weight gain, like out of control blood sugar, for example, or like, spikes in blood sugar, also deteriorate vascular health. So the health of your, the blood flow to the brain. So everything that causes and keeps fat on, even toxins, for example, because some people gain weight because they're exposed to environmental toxins. So hairdressers, for example, or if you get your hair colored every 3 months, get your nails done all the time, those toxins, the body creates fat in order to store the toxins away from the organs. Because if your liver can't process toxins
Right.
fast enough, the body puts fat on to store toxins away from, because if the toxins can't get out of your body, it's sort of like a room that's the windows are closed and there's lots of dust, and you start dusting the room. There's nowhere for the dust to go. It's now kicked up into the air, and so how the body handles that is it makes more fat to store the toxins. That's just one reason why we have stubborn fat is, besides the fact that we have out of control blood sugar. You can't just say it's just because you have more calories, because there's so many more factors they're finding. But regardless, all the factors that go into increased weight are also the factors that directly damage the brain. And so Dr. Amen shows in all of his scans that the people who lose the weight and keep it off, all the healthy habits that are required to lose weight and keep them off. So like eat more vegetables, exercise, maybe take some healthy supplements to nutrify the body, eat the balanced diet, healthy and omega fat. So all these things that go into having a healthy diet that loses and keeps off weight also are directly the same activities that repair the brain. And so he has scans of people that have giant Swiss cheese holes in their brain. The brain is shrunk. He had one Michigan State professor that was 100 pounds overweight, and his brain looked like Swiss cheese. And the guy, over a 10-year period, lost the weight, kept it off, reversed, all of his health problems with, natural lifestyle changes, came back. And even though he was much older, he had a much younger and healthy brain with no holes in it. And the brain
That's
was
amazing.
bigger again. So we can reverse ill brain health and Alzheimer's. Him and his colleagues have actually proven that Alzheimer's starts in our 20s and 30s. And so this idea of, oh, I'll wait till I'm 40, or I'll wait till I'm older to get healthy, or I'll wait till I'm older to be serious about it. We're creating Alzheimer's right now with every single meal choice. Some people, when they hear that, are like, okay, now I'm ready to lose the weight, because they weren't ready to lose the weight for their heart health or for their diet, to reverse their diabetes or to look better. But the second they hear that they're getting Swiss cheese holes in their brain and that they're on the route to dementia, that's what motivates them to lose the weight. So just to bring that in, there's so much we don't see in our body that heals when we take all these appropriate and healthy steps. And weight is just like this external thing. What's really important is that we're healing our heart, our lungs, our liver, our brain, and we're giving ourselves a longer life. And there's actually a direct correlation to less depression, less mental illness. So there's so many positive benefits. We need to stay focused on that. So when the little hiccups in the road, like you said, in the lower part of the chart, when Thanksgiving happens, our boyfriend breaks up with us, we lose our job, whatever, we accidentally fall into a big piece of cheesecake and decide we've fallen off the bandwagon. Whatever those little things happen, we can do what you did. Look at our long-term goals. Remind ourselves that we want a healthy brain, a healthy heart, that we truly want a healthier, happier life, and not let those pitfalls in the road stop us. And if anything, remember, like, do you want giant Swiss cheese holes in your brain or not?
Exactly. That's freaky. If that doesn't motivate you guys, I don't know what will. So no Swiss cheese in your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Now, tell me more about your local achievement, that 3,500 pounds. How many people participated? Did they all directly come to you, or did they follow your videos? How did you help your entire town gain that much health?
Yeah, it was 35,000 pounds.
Oh my
So
God,
that, yeah, it was
35,000
35,000.
pounds. I
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not write that extra zero. I apologize. Okay,
So
I was impressed by 3,500. Yeah, I have to
yeah,
tell you, like I thought that was a big number, but 35,000. Okay, tell us
yeah.
about your amazing result of 35,000 pounds.
It's all good, Ashley. So basically, I put them through what I did, and I created a boot camp program. I'm big on accountability because one of my mottos is that you guys can borrow some of my energy because I got plenty. You can borrow some of my energy until you build up your own and your own, levels of motivation and all that. So I can kind of want it for you a little bit. You got to have a strong why behind your goal, but I can push you along and help you discover and dig deeper to develop a really, really strong why behind your goal. And you can borrow some of that mojo from your buddy Adam and get you going. That's what I've done with my town. I find these people that, it seems like people gravitate to me that have kind of done everything. They say, oh, Adam, I've done this program, I've done that, I've done, all these things. I've never really had anything that clicked. I heard that you can help people. And I'm like, heck yeah, my friend, let's lock arms, let's give it a go. But it's going to be hard. And I tell them, straight up, this may be the hardest thing that you ever do, but you're worth it. You are worth it, my friend. And, I've done it. I've helped other people do it. And I hope you're my next success story. So, you can see, Ashley was talking about on my website, I've got a little Rolodex on the transformationcoach.me website, and you can see people like Lisa Tran. She's lost 150 pounds. Or my friend Katie that's lost 90 pounds, busy single mom. And just all these different stories. And I love the eyes. You can see the hope in their eyes and that spark. And that's what gets me through. And that's why, I'm a business person. This is how I earn my living. This is how I feed my family. But I don't set like monetary goals. I'm not on the $1 million mission. I'm on the £1 million mission. I'm all about impact. If I impact people in a positive way, everything else takes care of itself, Ashley. And that's what I'm all about. So that's what I was all about with my hometown. And I put them through what I did. I applied, I told you, I created this amazing results formula, and it's a very simple formula. And it's not going to be anything earth shattering to you guys out there, but you need to understand it. And I feel like this, the amazing results formula is something that is the first step to escaping the black hole of fitness doom. And I want to make sure I give you guys some takeaways on that. So there's 4 components, and this is what I apply to my own transformation, to my hometown people in my fitness studio, and everybody I work with online. So the first component is you have to be committed to a nutrition strategy. And that doesn't involve the word trying. Like, I am trying paleo. I'm trying to go gluten-free. I'm like, you need to be committed. So if I ask you, what are you eating today? And what are kind of the rules? What are the rules of what you're eating today? And I know some people are like, it's against my aura and my personality. I'm a free thinker, Adam. I just need to eat freely. I'm like, well, we need to rebalance things a little bit. So I'm going to need you to work from a plan for a period of time, and then we'll create a habit, we'll create a routine, and then it'll be more like free thinking down the road. But you've got to have that commitment to a nutrition strategy. That's the first component. The second component is the same thing with fitness. You have to be committed to a fitness strategy. And, are you walking 3 times a week? Are you going to playing basketball? Are you doing boot camp classes? Are you going to hit the gym? Are you doing Pilates? Whatever, yoga, But I need to know that you are committed to doing that on a regular routine basis. So you've got your Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's not, again, the trying, like I'm trying out some yoga. I'm trying out, CrossFit or boot camp or whatever. It's just, I need some sort of a commitment on your fitness strategy. Now, those 2 things, like I said, aren't earth shattering. The third component is where we start thinking differently. And that's what I call applying strategic thinking to your transformation process. And specifically, the goal there in the third component is to be able to identify, analyze, and plan ahead for those transformation danger zones, those life happens moments. The ability to, again, identify them, then analyze what's going on, and then actually be able to plan ahead. And that's where the rubber meets the road with this concept. And if you can do that, we can win. And then I actually wrote a book called The Third Component. You can check it out. Shameless plug. Here it comes, folks. Shameless plug. Amazon.com. You can just search it. The Third Component. It's not, I think it's on sale for like $4 or something. It's a 100-page book. It's a quick read. There are no pictures. I self-published it. It's again, I'm not the Hollywood trainer. I just need to get a book out there and get my thoughts out there. So you can check that out. But I dive deep on the strategic thinking, the third component in the Amazing Results Formula. Then the fourth component is basically to apply steps 1 through 3 consistently over time. So you consistently are committed to nutrition, you're committed to fitness, and you think strategically. And if we can do that, along with a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, a lot of chewing up some broccoli and doing some green smoothies and all that good stuff, then we can get some results and we can make that first step towards escaping that black hole of fitness doom.
How do people identify if it's sort of out of their awareness, their trip up, their black holes? What are some ways that they can do some self-reflection and realize that those are their black holes so that they can plan for them and have alternative strategies for when they come up?
Yeah, I'll start off giving you an example because some people may have a hard time wrapping their mind around this whole concept, and that's totally understandable. It's thinking outside of the box. So I've got a client that's an accountant, and we know, tax season, April hits, and those accountants, their workload just is 10 times what it normally is. So I have a client that would lose 20 pounds during the year and then regain or maybe even gain more back during tax season. And I wouldn't see this person. They would stop coming to classes. They would stop doing calls with me. They would, quit coming to do checkpoints with, weigh-ins and body fat and all that stuff. And you just wouldn't see them for a couple of months. And I said, you know what? I think this is the issue. And they're like, well, I just don't have time. I can't do everything. I have to put something on the back burner. And I'm like, so you're putting your health on the back burner? That doesn't, say that out loud.
Yes.
I'm putting my health on the back burner.
Swiss cheese
exactly.
in your brain.
Exactly. And so once I got the person to kind of verbalize it, like, you know what, that doesn't sound very good. I'm like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do everything normal. We're going to keep doing coaching calls. We keep checking in. We're going to keep thinking about things, and we're just going to do our best. When we can't be at our best, we can still do our best. All right. When we can't be at our best, we can still do our best. So whether you're an accountant and you're in tax season, or you get injured, or you have a relationship issue and something bad happens, it's like we can still do our best in that moment. And that's what we encouraged this person to do. And they did great. They maintained their weight loss. That was our goal. I'm like, we don't need to do like the ultra hardest workout regimen, and we don't need to be super duper strict on diet, but we can be like 20% better. We can do that. I start negotiating with people, I'm like, let's get some percentages, 20% better. And so when you guys are out there trying to figure this out, I want you to just think through maybe the last time, if you've been on a little bit of a cycle where you've lost weight and regained it, think about the moment that sparked that regain where you decided to kind of check out and do the thing like I was talking about in the example of putting your health on the back burner. Like I get emails all the time with people in boot camp. They're like, the one thing had to go, and it's going to be this. I can't show up to work out. My kids got violin lessons on Wednesdays now, and there's just no other day I can get in there or whatever. So it's that moment that you want to analyze and think, all right, now let's see if we can find a pattern. So the last time I had some results, and maybe I backtracked a little bit, what was the thing that kicked that off? A lot of people, it's going to be vacations. I find that a lot, where you go on a vacation, and what do? Some people get motivated the 2 weeks before the vacation, like, I want to look good on the beach, and they kind of hit it hard. But then they go on their vacation, and they, hit the all access, all you can eat buffet, eating and drinking and enjoying themselves, as you should. I mean, you should enjoy yourself on vacation. I'm not anti enjoying yourself. But then when they come back, they've lost all that momentum. And then they kind of start feeling bad, like, man, I've gained 10 pounds. And then there's the weight gain guilt. If they are working with me a lot of times, so like, I don't want to go and see Adam until I've lost all this weight back because I feel bad about gaining it. And I'm like, that's the smartest idea ever, since you're so great at losing weight by yourself already. So it's another vicious cycle. But we get in our head about it, and I actually created a tool. I'll add this to the blog post that I set up for you guys too, but I call it the Strategic Vacation Planner, where you map out the 2 weeks before, then you map out the 2 weeks after before you leave. So you're booking your workouts, You know what nutrition plan you're going to be on. We cover all those amazing results formula components before you leave for the vacation. Then you set some mini goals for each day, like a one mini healthy goal, like I will not drink alcohol before 9 a.m. or something like that, and then, I will work out for 20 minutes three times on my week-long vacation. Little things like that. But then the real key is you walk out of it and you already have the plan set up. So it doesn't take any extra energy or motivation. It's all laid out. All your workouts are booked and in place. You know the strategy. All you have to do is go get groceries and you're good to go. So that's kind of the way that I attack the transformation process and apply that amazing results formula, whether it's hometown clients, myself, anybody online. I've seen it work for everybody.
What other pitfalls do people fall in? Like, for example, they get on the scale, maybe they've been doing their program for a month and they haven't lost any weight, or they haven't lost enough weight, or maybe they gained weight, even though they think they've been really good. And then they're like, F this, I'm going to go eat a pizza. Um, what, like, how do you help people so they stick with it long term, even though they might not be losing enough or not losing at all at the time? Because for all we know, they were losing inches, not fat, or maybe they're gaining muscle, or maybe, their body just, needed more exercise, or there's small tweaks, but instead of making small tweaks and continuing to get feedback, we get emotional about it and like throw the scale out the window and give up on ourselves. What do you say to those people that are kind of like the number watchers?
Yeah, people live and die by that scale, and the scale is one of my enemies because I feel like it's one of the least reliable assessment tools because it can be thrown off by so many factors, by bloating. You are sore from your workout and you're retaining water. Hormonal cycles, everything.
I have a new scale from Costco. I have bought like 3 new scales in the last, I think, I don't know, 3 years, because when I move it to different parts of my bathroom floor, it will give me completely different numbers.
Yeah.
And I have moved
That's
it out
typical.
I've moved it to another room. I've actually moved the scale around the house to different floors because I will get a totally different number depending on the floor. If the floor is like slightly different, if it's not exact, like I'm like tempted to go out into the garage where it's like a cement floor at this point. Because if I don't like the number of the scale, I just move the scale to the other side of the bathroom and I get a totally different number. I'm like, okay, well, I like that number. Okay, we'll just move on with our day. So
The
you're
gravitational pull.
right. It's stronger over by
Yes.
by the bathtub.
Yes. That's awesome. But that's common. Like a story from my very first boot camp I did. I had a lady that was getting great results. Didn't need to lose a whole lot of weight, but she's already down like 5-6 pounds, looking great. Her endurance was much better, but she would text message me every day because she wasn't supposed to be weighing herself. That's one of my rules. With my
Really?
programs is you don't weigh with my people in my hometown. They are not allowed to weigh themselves. They get in trouble. They come to my studio once every 2 weeks, and it's in a controlled environment. I'm there. One of my coaches is there to, talk them off the ledge if things get weird. But then, people on my online programs, again, we follow the every 2 weeks protocol. But this young lady was weighing herself every day, and I would get a text message, and she'd say, "Adam, I'm freaking out. I'm up 0.6 pounds from this morning," and it's like 2 o'clock. I'm like, "Well, have you drank water and eaten today?" "Yes." "Should I stop?" "No." That is why you're up 0.6 pounds. It's called fluids and food, and you're digesting things. And I'm like, wait till the morning, and some of that'll come out, and then you'll weigh less again. So it's, we get so on our heads. I say that the scale makes very, very intelligent people say really, really dumb things. And it's just like it just melts. It's like it gives them the Swiss cheese brain, and they freak out about it. And we start, thinking, oh, this program isn't working. And I had another client that it was a daily weigher, and I had to break her of that habit. I told her to throw her scale away. I said, you got to throw the scale away, or I'm not gonna be able to help you, because she was adjusting her diet every single day based off of her daily weight. So if she was down, she'd be like, oh, I can cut loose a little bit and cheat more on my diet. If she was up, she's like, I can't eat today, and I'm like, this is a terrible situation. So, and we were in a goal setting workshop, and we were kind of going back and forth, and she's in the back of the room standing up, and I'm at the front and kind of giving it back to her. And I said, just go 2 weeks. And then I want you to get the scale out of the house. I need your husband on board so he can kind of watchdog for me a little bit. And then 2 weeks later, she came and weighed in, and she's like, you know what? I haven't been stressed out about this. And she weighed and she was down and she felt great about it. And she hasn't weighed herself since. And she's one of my 60-pound club members. So it's just, we get in our heads about that scale and we freak out. So if you are a daily scale weigher, or if you tend to freak out about the scale, you need to go extended periods without weighing yourself. And when you do weigh yourself, it needs to be in a consistent environment. I recommend an environment outside of your home, so you are not tempted to weigh yourself. Like go to a gym or a yoga studio or anywhere. People have scales around. You even go just to Target and grab a scale and weigh yourself. But ideally, it's the same scale. Ideally, and even like you were saying, you kept your scale in your bathroom, Ashley, and like just temperature fluctuations can throw off a scale. So if it gets real humid in there, it could throw off your weight that you get on that scale. So the main thing is setting non-scale victories. All right, so you need to have goals outside of that number, and I'll get into that here in a second when I talk about the concept of the transformation timeline. But you need to have non-scale victories. You need to have other wins, because if you are just obsessed with that scale, if you have a successful transformation, you're eventually going to run out of weight to lose. Then what? And that's when you see people like, I told you I've had over 15 people in my hometown lose over 100 pounds, but some of them haven't kept it off. It's because they had that scale focus. And then when that weight ran out, they were like, who am I now? What's my motivation? What's my goal? And they didn't have those non-scale, anchor points to hold them and keep them true and keep them motivated. And you lose it and you fall backwards. And that's always a really, really sad thing to happen.
So what I'm gathering for what you're saying is that once you've lost the weight, you want to set more goals. Even if you're at your goal weight, your ideal weight, your ideal size, your ideal dress size or whatever, your ideal pant size, you shouldn't stop having goals. There should always be fitness goals, because that keeps us on track, right? So
Yep.
like, okay, I can run 5 miles. Now my goal is to run 10. So always have some kind of goal. I mean, not that we all need to be like marathon runners, but if maybe I want to run faster, or I want to, do more running or whatever. As an example, I do hiking with my husband, and I
Yep.
use this app, like the MyFitnessPal whatever track. There's this app
Yeah.
in addition to MyFitnessPal that lets you track your hiking or your walking or your biking. And like last night, because my thing is I want to get at least one walk in a day, even if it's raining. Like we just, like sometimes we'll go to a mall and just like we just got to get out there and moving. And luckily I live in the Pacific Northwest and there's gorgeous hiking trails everywhere. But
I
last
know,
night,
I'm jealous.
it's so gorgeous here. I feel blessed. I'm really, really happy where I live. And last night we were like, my son, who's 2.5, is obsessed with Chipotle. And so that's the only kind of fast food we get in our life. And he basically sits there and eats like an entire cup of guacamole. He loves it. And so I was like, okay, fine. We'll do Chipotle, and then we're gonna bring the stroller with us, and we're gonna walk around Woodinville, like the entire town of Woodinville. So we walked around Woodinville, and we got a nice, hour-long fast-paced walk in, and I can see on my app, and it records it. And what's cool is I'm noticing, because the app also kind of sees your pace, and I'm seeing that we're consistently getting a faster and faster pace, even when we're hiking, like in up and down hills and things like that through the woods. So it's a fun thing for me. It has nothing to do with the scale, and I'm seeing that we're improving, even if we're not trying. I'm noticing improvement, and then that is like a feedback, like a biofeedback, because now I'm going, okay, now I want to see if I can get that number to be bigger, even if we're not maybe walking longer. Maybe if we're walking faster, we would end up walking longer because we want to have about an hour-long walk, give or take. So I'm playing with that, and it's fun. And I can see that no matter what size I am or what the scale says, I'm always going to want to do that, because that's like feels like a fun fitness game that is just good for general overall health.
Yeah, and that what you just described is what Tony Robbins calls that a process goal. And I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. I love his stuff. And he talks about process goals, where if your goal is to win the NBA championship a good process goal would be to shoot 1,000 jump shots a day, because a process goal will, it doesn't guarantee anything, but it'll increase the likelihood of you achieving that goal. So your process goal of hiking a certain amount is going, you put that work in and you do it consistently, that increases your odds of reaching other fitness goals. So that's a great example of people that kind of obsess on that scale situation. Like, let's set some process goals where you can put in work and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do 50 push-ups every day. And if I do that, I know it's good for me. I know I'm doing good things for my body. So let's start there.
So another process goal could be like, my process goal is to eat 6 cups of vegetables every day, right? 6 to 8
Yes.
cups. So it doesn't matter what size you are, you're eating 6 cups of vegetables. It's like crowding out. If you're eating 6 cups of vegetables, you're so full that you don't want to go out for that pizza. Um, you can, I
Exactly.
mean, you can have other things too, but like that is one of my goals every day is to, obviously drink my like 80 ounces of water, eat 6 cups of vegetables, go for a walk. So this is because of doing the podcast. I've known these things were always healthy, but it's because of interviewing all these amazing health experts. You interview or you listen to enough health podcasts, you kind of get like oh yeah, everyone needs
Yeah.
to eat more vegetables.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to drink more water. Everyone needs to move their body. But I love that your program is about keeping it in a consistent format no matter what, even if you feel crappy, even if you wake up and you're beating yourself up, even if the self-talk is there, you stick with your daily actions because you're committed.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why it works. Like you said, it's about the daily action steps, and we get in our head about it. We all know this. We get in our head about, we set this standard that is just totally on us. Like, I should lose 20 pounds. Well, where'd you get that number? I don't know. I just feel like my friend lost 20 pounds. I kind of like them. I should be able to lose 20 pounds. And we set these like standards, and it's like, let's look at some progress, not perfection at this moment. And let's work on just getting healthier and taking steps down the line. That's really where our heads need to be.
So you had set that goal to lose 100 pounds. Did you know that was your ideal weight? Should people not throw out an arbitrary number? Is there a better system to creating their goal?
You're gonna like this, Ashley. My original goal was to weigh 275 pounds, and the reason is because, and I feel like this is very scientific. Every dude that weighs over 300 thinks that they will be shredded if they weigh 275. It's like, my abs, I guarantee you, I'm gonna have abs. I know it if I just weigh 275. Like, I've spent a lot of time in gyms with some other, I refer to myself as the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and that is, you hang out with enough heavy dudes, and that you get that kind of talk. But I was just concerned with losing weight because I knew that I wasn't healthy, and I knew the more I lost, the more my body fat dropped. I was like, this really feels good. So it was more about the feeling to me. I didn't have a set number, and honestly, I haven't weighed myself in 3 years. I have no idea. I mean, I know what I look like when I weigh 225. Like, I would know if I weighed 300 again, and I would probably know if I weighed 200. But I know what I look like. I know what my body performs like. I'm weighing right around 220, 225 pounds, and I guarantee if I went and stepped on a scale, I'd weigh between 220 and 225 right now. But I'm not worried about it. It's not an issue anymore because I've got other non-scale goals that I'm working on right now, and those keep driving me forward.
Awesome. My PhD is in pig-headed determination.
I love it.
Yeah, so everyone can be a PhD right now. They can have pig-headed determination, and then they can be the formerly fat,
The previously heavy dude.
yeah, the previously heavy dude. Thank you. God, I guess a girl could be a dude. So dudette,
Yeah,
the previously
dudette.
heavy dudette.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Well, I'd love to know, because right before we hit record, you were sharing with me about one of your amazing breakfasts, and I think it'd be fun to know. You're not really selling a specific diet. You're like, just pick a diet and commit to it. And I applaud you for that, because there's so much bio individuality. Paleo might work for me. Atkins might work for you, vegan, raw vegan might work for someone else. It's up to us to find out and to dial in what feels really good, but we just need to pick a hopefully very healthy, holistic, healing diet and stick to it. Can you give us examples though? Because I'm sure that you have some great ones. Can you share with us what kind of way did you eat as you lost weight, and what do you eat now, like to
Yep.
maintain your weight loss? Can you paint the picture of what an average day in the life of Adam looks like?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you want to go there, Ashley. That's just pretty crazy. Um, so my philosophy is that you want to use the right tool for the job. And I feel just like you, there are so many just camps out there where it's like, I'm paleo, I don't talk to keto people, and I'm Weight Watchers, we're rivals, it's like Weight Watchers for life. I can't be in your Facebook group. And it's so weird. I'm like, let's learn a lot of different stuff and let's apply what's useful. Let's apply the right tool for the right job. So I experiment with all sorts of different diet regimens, and I never say everyone should do this forever because it's the perfect plan and I'm awesome and famous because of it. It's not the way I approach things. So I like to learn all sorts of things. My basic plan that I started with, and what I usually start all my clients off with, is just clean eating 5 times a day, meals and snacks, as much whole food as we can get in, lots of water, and sweating as often as possible. So when I started out, I was eating, I try to get a decent amount of protein and healthy fats in, lots of vegetables, but I wasn't even like gluten-free or anything like that. It was just, eating chicken and doing some veggie mixes, cabbage. I use the crock pot a lot. Different protein supplements. I do some of those for convenience, and eggs and fish and all that stuff. So it's just clean eating to start off with. I've experimented through the years with intermittent fasting, ketogenic dieting, paleo. Right now, I would say where I'm at mostly is more paleo. I still eat 5 times a day. I fast. I do a 24-hour fast once a week. I like that just for giving my digestive tract a break. I time it up with my most busy day where I'm just going nonstop, so it times up nicely. So I'm not just like hangry all the time. Like, I tried it on a different day, and I got angry with my wife because she was eating a salad in front of me. I'm like, how could you chew those vegetables in front of me? How dare you? So I was like, well, that's not what I wanted. So we switched it up to the day that I'm not at home and I'm working with clients all day, and I can get out my frustration by making them do burpees and push-ups and things like that. So it works out well. But really, it's comes down to consistency. That's the recipe that works well for me and my clients, is hard work and doing it consistently, and we adapt as we go. So I like to take people through clean eating, then we usually transition into more of a whole food paleo type program. And then if somebody wants to get real low body fat, we'll kick them into a keto program or maybe some intermittent fasting. I feel like that's a mistake that a lot of people make, because intermittent fasting and keto is so like buzzworthy right now. And people jump into that right away. And those are the programs where you need to be on point. You need to be strict with those, because if you're introducing a lot of carbs and insulin spikes, especially on keto, and you're getting all that saturated fat at the same time, that's called a recipe for just gaining body fat. And you see a lot of people like, I'm not losing any weight on keto. And it's because they're cheating a lot on it and adding in carbs when they're not supposed to be. And so I like to build up some momentum first and just take it one baby step at a time. And we keep people on a nutrition program as long as it needs to happen. And there's no like pressure, like you're still on this basic plan. And I'm like, the basic plan, the clean eating program, that's what produced the 35,000 pounds of weight loss in my hometown. And we started developing all this other stuff because people started getting really fit, and they're like, okay, what's next? What's next? So really I'm like the most like non-flashy nutrition and exercise expert out there. It's just, we got to work hard and we got to do it consistently, and we got to not screw ourselves up. And that's really the magic recipe. So that's the deal, Ashley.
I love it. I love it. Now share with us your protein breakfast that you're telling me about, because it sounds really
Yes.
yummy.
All right, so I do 1 scoop dry whey protein. I like chocolate, or like I get a chocolate mint. It's pretty good. Then I do 1 scoop of collagen protein, which I've just recently added to the mix, which I really like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do 1 can of organic coconut cream. It's not the coconut milk, it's the coconut cream. And I put it in the refrigerator overnight. So it kind of solidifies. It should be like the consistency of like cream cheese almost.
Mm-hmm.
And you put that in, and then 1 tablespoon of almond butter. And then you add just a little bit of water and stir it until it's like pudding. And I usually just eat it right away. So, you can put it in the fridge and it kind of solidifies a little bit, but it's delicious. And it's, that would fit a lot of different meal plans. And that's how the PhD starts his day most often than not is the power pudding. And it keeps you full. And it's a nice treat if you have a sweet tooth. Especially if you can get a hold of some chocolate mint protein powder, it is delicious. And a lot of good healthy fats in there, keeps you full. So that's my morning jam.
I like it because it's egg free, and so many people have an egg allergy.
Yep.
And so that's a nice and also very easy on the digestive system. That of course is great for a ketogenic or paleo diet. For someone who's looking for lower calorie and not doing ketogenic or paleo, probably not, because it's a good amount of healthy calories from
Yep.
fat in there. But yeah, the downfall, like you said, with ketogenic is you have to be 100% on point. I remember when I was doing keto heavily, I'd like go out to eat, and they use a marinade. The marinade had sugar in it, and that was
Yeah.
enough to throw me off for 3 days, and I'd
Yep.
be pissed because I'm like,
Yep.
I did all this work to finally get into ketosis. Now I'm rocking it in ketosis, and this like one stupid marinade and this stupid meal that I didn't need to eat out, but I did, throw me off for 3 days, and then I'll be just pissed, for 3 days till I get back into ketosis. So it's a really very, very strict plan. But it does get results. But my black hole was 4th of July, 2 years
Yep.
ago, because I was doing keto really like awesomely. And then I go to a barbecue 4th of July, and I went with all the intentions to stay on my program. And I get there, and there's nothing I can eat. And I'm sitting there going, maybe if I like peel off the skin, because there's like, sauce, there's barbecue sauce on something. I'm like, maybe I could like, so I've spent a few minutes, and my husband and I were doing keto for several months together, and he digs right in to just everything. He's like, I'm not even going to be gluten-free today. He just dug it. And I'm like, we've been gluten-free for like 7 years. And I'm looking at him drinking a beer, eating some cake. Like, and I was
Oh,
just like, and that was it. I saw my partner, my husband do it. And I'm like, well, if he's going to do it,
it's
okay,
over.
okay, just today, just because it's 4th of July. And that turns into oh, well, it's 4th of July weekend, right? And so then come
Yep.
Monday, I'm like, well, you know what? It's going to take me like a week to get back into ketosis because of how much we like did not eat healthy this weekend. And that would then it was over, right? And I was just like,
Yep.
what happened? And it was really interesting. My husband and I've had this talk a few times, and I came to the realization after he beat me over the head with it until I finally saw the light, is that I was attaching my success to him doing things.
Yep.
So if he wasn't on the plan with me, then I wasn't on the plan, because we eat like your wife, ate salad in front of you, or ate vegetables in front of you.
Yeah.
I do most of the cooking in the house. So if he doesn't want to eat a certain way, I'm like, I'm not gonna make him a different meal. Like, I'm sitting here eating my kale salad, and he gets to have, a cheeseburger. Like, what's going on? So I just noticed that I had to like really grow up and stop. I put my big girl pants on and stop attaching his success to my success. And I'm going to go eat my program, and he's going to have to learn to, either eat what I'm eating, or he's going to starve or make his own food. And
Yeah.
once I realized that, he's going to love me no matter what, like I don't have to cook for him. And I had to just like basically like come face to face with all these like little ideas that I had in my mind, like, oh well, if he's not doing it, then I can't be successful. Like, I could not believe that that was a belief system that I was carrying around. Like, how juvenile was that? So I just had to really face all these belief systems about my health success, and I just cannot attach it to anyone else's success or anyone else doing or not doing something in my immediate family. And once I let go of that, it was so much easier to make my own health choices. And he's a big boy. And ultimately he doesn't want Swiss cheese head either. So he's just gonna follow my lead now. I was kind of following his, which doesn't work because we would both want to We would both want to eat whatever's at the 4th of July barbecue. And I just noticed how many times spouses will I don't want to say sabotage each other, but will use each other as an excuse to
Yep.
not
Yep.
follow through on their goals.
No, that's a huge breakthrough, Ashley. And I'm glad that you brought that up because so many people struggle. That's a huge danger zone is the feeling of, the family dinner. Everybody has to be eating the same thing. Or when you go out to eat, like you can't eat healthy because you're around people that are drinking beer. And if you feel the social pressure, and I try to get my clients to realize that, when you're sitting down for a family dinner, who really cares if you're eating vegetables and your partner is eating steak and your kids are eating ravioli or whatever. The key thing is you're together and that you're spending that time together. And it doesn't matter what you're putting in your mouth, and if you're out to eat, if you have friends over, you shouldn't feel weird about being healthy. Like, why do you feel weird, socially conscious about being healthy? And it's more their problem. Like if and we know we all have friends, we all have family members that kind of are food pushers, or like I've got an uncle. He knows that I have not drank since I was turned 30, or I'm 37. He knows this. And every time I go to his house, hey, you want some wine? He thinks it's funny. And he's a great guy, but he kind of does it on purpose to kind of, because that's what uncles do sometimes. And I always turn him down, and he'll ask me like 5 times over Christmas, every single year. And, but he's a good dude, but people will do that. And sometimes we'll internalize that and really freak out about it. But I realize that, a lot of times people are just, kind of testing you a little bit, or they want to see how serious you are. And a lot of times, honestly, they're projecting a lot of their own stuff onto you because they wish they had the courage to do what you're doing. And so that's something, we have to kind of keep that in mind and not rage on people if they give you a little bit of flack about eating, but just explain what you're doing. I always tell my clients, I'm like, you need to make sure that your goals are expressed. You have to tell your family, your friends, why you're doing this and the kind of the why behind the goal, and really get that out there. And if they're still kind of jerks about it, it's their problem. It's not yours. So we don't have to worry about that.
Right. I like that. The why behind the goal. The crab of the bucket syndrome, even
Yeah.
those who love us the most are going to pull us down. I have watched this happen. There's a family member that does this to my husband that will really in a very serious way be and my husband doesn't have a lot of weight to lose, but like every guy might have a little bit of pouch or whatever.
Yep.
We have a family member who will really ridicule him for it and be like, when are you going to lose that weight? And it's just like, dude, like leave my husband alone. But it's a family member, right? Like, what are you going to do? And
Yeah.
then the next day offer him ice cream, like full on his favorite ice cream. And then they get upset when he says no, or when I say he can't have that. Like that's not what he's eating right now. And I brought this up with them and I said, you offer him ice cream, and then in like the same day I've told him, like, made fun of him for not being a perfect body weight. And they're like, yeah, so. And I'm like, do you not see that this is like contradicts each other? Like, it's just amazing that so many family members do this, but we need to figure out how to be stronger in ourselves and be stronger in our goal. Like you said, every day you looked at your goal. I know that you came up against the family members, and I know you came up against the hard times and the black holes and tax season and everything, or the times when your scale said you gained 5 pounds instead of lost 5 pounds. And yet you stuck with it and you helped people lose 35,000 pounds, stick with it. Um, so in the face of those family members, in the face of the black holes, we need to continue to stay strong in ourselves. I love that you said that accountability partners.
Yep.
Did you recommend that people go, like, who would make a really good accountability partner? Because obviously that family member, like your uncle, not so much,
Not so
right?
much. Not so
So,
much. He's a
um,
good guy. He's probably going to listen to this. So
maybe if
he
you
knows who he
wanted
is.
to
He's a good guy.
make like if you wanted to be like the green beret of weight loss, you should get him as an accountability partner. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you want
Yeah.
to like strengthen your willpower even more, like go
Yes.
hang out with him. But who for those of us who realize that we do fall to the prey of the crab in the bucket syndrome, where our sister or our coworker or whoever in our life, our mom, might, even though they love us, might pull us down or say, why are you being gluten free? That's stupid. Or, this doesn't work. Or, or even say to us, you look like you've gained weight. Obviously, like the worst things you could say to someone who's on a program. with long-term health goals. What kind of person and what should we look for in finding our accountability partner?
Great question. And this is huge. And I teach on a concept that I call accountability anchor points, because it's kind of like climbing a mountain. As you do this transformation, as you lose weight, as you transform your health, your lifestyle, your body, you want to anchor in as often as you can. So you don't want to have just one anchor point. So you're just leaning on that one friend, and then they quit working out, and then we quit working out. And so we want to anchor in, finding a family member if you can in house. Like if you get that spouse support, that's huge. But sometimes that's not realistic. Finding a coach, find somebody that has done what you want to do and learn from them, and attach yourself to them as an accountability anchor point. There's so many great Facebook groups out there. I mean, Facebook is awesome because you can just, search health and fitness and just see different vibes. I've got, I would love to be part of you guys' accountability anchor points. I've got a free Facebook group. You can check it out. Just go to defeatthecheat.com. It's my Defeat the Cheat group. And we are big on accountability. We lock in tight. I'm in there every day posting live videos and doing stuff and strategy and all that. So you guys can check that out. Use me as an accountability anchor point. Use some of my mojo, some of my energy. People at work, you want to try to think about where you spend a lot of time and try to create an accountability anchor point in those areas. So home, work, the gym, church, whatever you do, try to find somebody and be like, all right, I want to start a walking group at lunch with a group of friends at work. And we're going to do this. We're going to be accountable to each other every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to walk at lunch, and we are expected to be there. Other people are expecting me to be there. And then I've also sat down. I do a monthly healthy goal setting session with my spouse. Once a month, we've got it on the calendar. It's locked in tight. And then I've got a group of friends. We all went to school together, and we play basketball every Saturday, and we are committed to being there. So just look in those different areas of your life and try to latch on. But then really you want to have that coach figure, that not a guru or anything like that, but somebody that has already, like I said, accomplished something that you want to accomplish, and you want to learn from them, and you can kind of be accountable to that process.
I really like the point that you said, that to have more than one accountability anchor, because if that one person you chose, like I remember I was at the Y over the summer working out at the gym, and I bumped into another woman, and we started talking, and we ended up just like working out together, and she said, "Oh my gosh, let's be workout buddies." And I thought, "Okay, cool. We've got a lot in common. We're both young moms, or moms that have young kids. We're both into holistic health." She was seeing an acupuncturist. We talked about that. And she seemed really excited too. And I said, "Okay, this is great." I was already like holding myself accountable going to gym, but I thought this would be great. An accountability partner that works out with me. And we exchanged contact information, and she called me once, and she said, "I'm really busy and I'll call you again and let's do something." And it totally fell through. And thank God I didn't attach like all of my health success on this one
Yeah,
person, right?
yeah, yeah.
So how many times does that happen where, like, for me in my past, I was attaching my success to my husband doing it with me. That was my accountability partner.
Yep.
Also doesn't work. You can't, like, I love that you pointed out you have to have multiple. So if you have someone at church that you see once a week, maybe have okay, after church we're gonna go for a walk, or get a bunch of people at church to walk before or after church. Also, so many churches serve crappy food.
Yep.
Get your church involved in a weight loss challenge and a healthy challenge, and instead
Yep.
of serving hot dogs and donuts, get them to serve plates of vegetables and fruit, and transform, and smoothies or whatever, like get the whole
Yep.
church involved. So now you've got this whole team. I was involved a long time ago with Landmark Education, and when I was in high school, I did something called Self-Expression and Leadership Program. It was a 3-month program where you create a project, and then you enroll. You get your friends and family and your community excited to help you fulfill this project. You could never do on your own. You need it to be big enough so that it becomes so big that if you kind of dropped out, that the project would complete itself. Like that enough people got involved that it happened. It kind of takes a life of its own. And I see what you're saying, kind of like that. I ended up creating this really cool charity that was ended up raising $3,500 for the Tim Hortons Children's Charity Fund, which sends inner city kids to camp.
Nice.
And I was in high school, and it was really cool. We did like a silent auction and a dinner. We fed, like, my friends and I were all like 17 years old. We fed 50 adults like a formal dinner and did a silent auction, and it was a lot of fun. But this, like, I got so many of my friends involved, and their parents, and then people I'd never even met because they like heard it from other people, got involved, that it was taking on life of its own. So if you did that at your workplace, your place of work, if you did that in your church, if you did that at your gym, if you did that with your family, if you did that with your friends, like you said, went to high school with, if you did it with your neighbors, if you did it with enough people, that if one person dropped out, it's not going to be this disaster for you, because you've got like 100 people there holding you accountable. And then also, it's kind of like the carrot and the stick. You got the stick, like, well, no matter how bad I feel today or how much I really want to just go binge on ice cream, I have 100 people that are counting on me to get up and go for a walk with them, or get up and do whatever. So that's really setting yourself up for success. There's no way that the crab in the bucket at that point would be affecting you, because you have enough people excited about the success. And so if one thing fell through, like the people at work decided to have a donut day, you still got your group of friends, like 5 other accountability points, anchor points that you've set up. So I really, really love that advice.
Yeah, yeah, and the key thing that we're both kind of vibing on is that we have to initiate the
Mm-hmm.
process. Like, we can't sit and wait for someone else to do this for us. We have to be in that position mentally where we say, you know what, I'm going for this, and I'm going to create these accountability anchor points. I'm not going to sit back and wait for them to happen, because they won't. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to get off your butt, get motivated, and start making these connections happen. And once you do, I mean, I've seen this happen with my clients. It's awesome, where you mentioned kind of the church scenario. The work lunchroom is usually just like a minefield of donuts and candy and bad things. And I've seen workplaces totally transform, where the norm is then healthy stuff. And it's kind of weird. Like, did you see that guy that brought in the pizza today? Man, that was kind of weird. And I'm like, yes, I'm taking over the lunchroom. So it's almost like reverse peer pressure. Like, what are you doing bringing pizza into the healthy zone, man? And it's cool. So it can happen. It can happen. And you're going to get some synergy going, and it's going to go viral through your group of friends and your sphere of influence. And all of a sudden, the new norm is healthy, and you're pulling each other in that direction versus the opposite direction, where we slip back into that black hole of fitness doom where we don't want to be.
That is so cool. I just love your program, because you're allowing people to dial in. Like, I love that you're not like, you have to do 100 burpees. Like, cuz some people have been totally couch potato, and the idea of exercise scares them. Because I remember
Yep.
there was a time in my life I was so sedentary, and like playing video games was my form of relaxation. So the I every time I went to exercise, I'd injure myself. And then I was like, oh well, this didn't work, right? And that was my black hole for a while. Was every time I
Yep.
injured myself, I'd give up on a health program. Whereas I was really trying too hard. I was pushing my body way, like, just irresponsibly, because in my mind it was like, well, people who lose weight are like, the biggest loser, 8-hour extra workouts, right? But we have to do what we're capable of right now and build up. So if it's just walking around the block every day as your starting point, you're quickly going to be able to get to walk a mile a day. Like, if you can just walk, like, wherever you are, and then work your way up, and then eventually you're going to get to the point where you can do sprints, right? But I love that your program isn't about a specific exercise routine, and it's not about a specific diet, but it is about making sure you do have these steps in place. Everyone needs to be responsible for their diet. Everyone needs to be responsible for their consistent fitness plan, and they have to plan ahead, be that Boy Scout, always be prepared for their black holes of fitness. So, and then you've got that great book. I'm excited to learn step 3. I like how you gave us step 1, 2, and 4, and then you're like, haha, we have to go get your book, because I love that. I love, because obviously this would be a 3-hour podcast if you wanted to teach us
Yeah.
what you wrote in 100 pages, right? So I
Yep.
appreciate that. And I also appreciate that, because it makes us get off our butts and go take action. And even the unconscious step of buying a $10 book and reading 100 pages is, every little step towards this goal we have is an affirmation to the unconscious mind that we're serious about achieving it. So
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to do these little habits. Like, no matter what, put your running shoes on and walk around the block. Like, no matter what, do little steps and build it up, because those are all steps that are going to be these little check marks. Like, yes, I'm doing more consistent action every day towards my goal, rather than I'm going to sit on the couch for the next week and then I'll start on Monday, because Monday never comes.
Yeah.
It's always next Monday and next Monday.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Let's talk about your website, because you've got some great goodies in the podcast show notes. We're gonna have the special blog post that I love. I am so honored and blessed that you made the Learn to Health listeners a specific blog post for us, and you have a gorgeous picture of yourself, by the way, right there. Um, and then you've got some great videos of you teaching different things, and I really appreciate that as well. So the link to that is going to be in the show notes of today's podcast. So your website is transformationcoach.me. What are the fun Easter eggs on your website we should be aware of?
Yes. Now, I do have to say that the pictures of me on the website that's a new thing. I do not like doing that. I'm not
I,
like the
I
guy
thought
who
you were
like I
gonna
don't like
say that's not you, it's stock
no,
photos.
no. It is me, but I don't like putting myself in the spotlight. I feel like my spotlight should always be with my clients, and that's why the first thing you see is that slideshow of everybody that I've helped. And so, but people are suggesting you need to relate to your audience more. They need to know who you are. You need to show them pictures of yourself. So
Yes.
that's something new that I'm trying. I'm not
Well, you look
super duper
gorgeous.
comfortable.
I have to say, like the Henley, my husband only wears Henleys, and
Yeah.
I love Henleys. You look really good. You look like you have giant chest muscles. You look like one of those guys that could like make your pecs dance. Can you do that? Can you like
Well,
can
if you're lucky enough, I'll post a YouTube video or something of the peck dance. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can make this happen. I could put it on the blog maybe.
Okay, great.
But so now that that's out of the way, the website. First off, I'm super proud because I built that website. Like I am when it comes
Really?
to my online services, I'm a one-man show. I do all my website building. So that's why if things are like misspelled or the links don't work, that is exactly why. But I just feel like I'm very hands-on. I love to learn. I love to learn new things. So that's part of it. But on the website, if you go on there, you're gonna see the first thing is the slideshow. You're gonna see. I think I've got like 10 examples of what I've been able to do with people. The very first one is Lisa. She's lost 150 pounds. And what you're talking about a second ago, Ashley, just reminded me that Lisa, when she first started working out, she couldn't get up and down off the floor. She cried at her first workout. And she just had a really hard time getting up and down off the floor. So we had to get a chair and do a lot of chair stuff. And now, something that it's kind of one of my little hallmarks that people know me for is all my workout videos. I'm not in them. I'm the voice. I'm kind of leading. I'm doing the timing and the reps and the sets and the motivation in the background, but all of my clients are the stars of my workout video. So Lisa is in one of my new workout, my new exercise program, and she is the one leading the workout. She's lost 150 pounds, and she's the woman that cried her first workout because she couldn't get up and down off the floor. So, and all my workouts are like that. It's 100% people that have done the program and had amazing results. And I do that because I want people to say, you know what? If Lisa can do that, I can do that. I may not be able to do a push-up today, but neither could Lisa, and look at her now. And that's what it's about, my friends. That's what it's all about. So you're going to see that on the top of the website. Then you're going to see some different things that I offer. I've got lots of blog posts. I've got a podcast, the Transformation Coach.me podcast. I usually put out one a week. Sometimes I put out more than one a week. I do interviews. I do topical sessions where I just kind of go off and get crazy, go in Adam mode and coach it up a little bit. As you can imagine, I bring the energy pretty much on the regular. One of the things I'm most excited about right now is I've got a scorecard at the very top of even above the transformation Rolodex there. I created this thing called the Amazing Results Scorecard. So I talked about my Amazing Results formula, and I break it down even further, especially that third component, the strategic thinking component. And I talk about how to score yourself on things like your accountability anchor points. How do you score in that category right now, and let's improve on it. And things like, are you committed to a specific nutrition plan? Is your why strong enough behind your goal? I've got all these sub components broken down, and it's pretty cool and it's free, and you can check that out, and it's a really nice analysis tool. So I encourage all you guys to check that out. And then the thing I'm super, super, super excited about is I just launched it today, is my brand new Transformed Academy. And I was telling Ashley, I spell transformed, I kind of bracketed it out to transform and ed, because it's all about transformation education. And that's the thing that it's kind of the missing link, because I've been trying to I initiated my £1,000,000 mission about 2 months ago, and I've been really working on a platform. How do I best impact people, like I impact them when I get my hands on them in my hometown? How can I recreate that experience? And I feel like I've hit a home run with this thing. And so with that Transformed Academy, we've got all of my exercise programs loaded up with follow along videos. So I have like body weight exercise. So if people are just getting started and they need some 10-minute workouts, we've got programs for that. I've got more advanced stuff. People that have no idea what to do when they go to a gym, like, what do I do with the barbell? Let's show you what to do with the barbell if you're ready for that. I've got all my nutrition protocols up there. I've got all my strategic thinking, all these tools that I've talked about, like my strategic vacation planner, my lifestyle audit, the danger zone game plan. I've got a workbook that I call the Battle Plan Workbook, which helps my clients map out their danger zones every 28 days. It has a daily component. And I added a free download for that in the blog post as well for you guys, because I want you to take that away for free as an action step. If you don't do anything else, if you don't listen to anything else that Ashley and I have said, I want you to go to the blog post, download the Battle Plan Workbook, and map out your next 28 days, and it'll be a game changer for you. I guarantee you that. But that's part of the academy. Then I'm doing coaching calls, small group coaching calls. My clients on that can sign up, and we talk about danger zones. We talk about what program they should be using right now. And then we've got the accountability component. We're forming 20-person accountability groups where daily we're checking in with food, with fitness. We do a week in review at the end of the day. We do some challenges, and we have that built-in accountability. And there's a whole lot more. I don't want to go on and on. And, I'm not a super duper salesy person, but it's something that's going to allow me to make an impact with people. And that, my friends, is what I'm all about. And to help you guys along as kind of a thank you to listening in, and also a huge thank you to Ashley, I'm including a 50% off discount code in the blog post for you guys. So you can it's a yearly subscription. You can get 50% off, locked in for life. If you guys want to check that out, that'll be in the blog post as well.
Thank you. That is it's like crazy affordable. That's really, like, I was actually going to say something like the cost for your Transformed program your year-long program is so affordable. It's like, it's way cheaper than Weight Watchers and way cheaper than Jenny Craig. It's like one day of Jenny Craig. I don't know. It's like, it's just crazy affordable. And then you're giving us 50% off. So I really appreciate that. I really get that your focus is on the results, and you know that the money, comes because you're helping people. Like, I get that. And that's like, for me, I'm just like, you know what? I help enough people and I know I'm going to make money. I'm not just like, if you try to make money first, then you probably won't end up helping a lot of people. We're up against big pharma, and we're up against these giant corporations that, do not put money, or do not put people first. They put money first. Like, these corporations, my total side story, I just remembered I have to tell you. So I know, talk about a rant, but no, this is actually really interesting. So my husband's uncle is a PhD, taught at Boulder, Colorado University. He invented a machine that is now used around the world. Like, he also was the first mission that went to the moon. He invented the first scientific experiment that went around the moon. So, wow. Like, just to get like how, like, this guy is super smart, and he's also a really nice guy. And he invented this machine originally. He invented this machine for pharmaceutical companies and for compounding pharmacies and for pharmacies. And what it is really cool. You take this machine and you scan an unknown substance. So let's say an unknown white powder. So you're in a pharmaceutical company and you're kind of like, oh, and the label fell off and we have no idea what this barrel of white powder is, right? This machine, you can plug it into this white powder and it will tell you the molecular makeup of it. And so basically, if you understand what the molecular makeup is of your stuff, like I know that Tylenol is the molecular makeup of this, then you know what it is. And his idea was that he was going to save millions of lives, because so many pharmaceutical companies will actually make the products wrong because
Wow.
they mislabel things, or they got sleepy and they poured one thing into another thing, and they really do a lot of the time make the pills wrong, or in the compounding pharmacies. So there's just so many opportunities for a pharmaceutical medicine to be improperly created. And he went with his lawyers to all of the pharmacy companies, and all of the, all of them turned him down and said, we would rather wait till enough people die and pay off the families than have to pay for this machine, which I think was actually, the machine was quite affordable for them. Have to pay for this machine and save the lives.
Yeah.
I've asked him to come on the show and talk about it, but he doesn't want the liability. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so it's like, this is what we're up against. We're up against giant companies that would rather us die and pay off our families. They do not care about our health. In the mainstream medical system, it is not about our health. It is absolutely, I think individuals work in the mainstream medical system that do have big hearts and care, but as a giant company, they make decisions based on the bottom line and not based on our health. And so we need to turn to the holistic healthcare practitioner like Adam, who gives a big heart about you and wants health results for you and cares genuinely. And he knows that at the end of the day, he helps enough people that enough people will buy his $10 book or buy his wonderful membership, which is totally affordable. And that'll keep his lights on. He is not interested in making profits and hurting people like what we're up against, which is the big pharma. And so I love what we're doing here on the podcast, because we're helping to support people to get to the truth, get to really what helps us. They're never going to bring out, it's never going to be mainstream what achieves optimal health, because optimal health does not line the pockets of big pharma, and big pharma is what sponsors all of the mainstream media. So I know I sound totally like whack job conspiracy theory here, but if you look at who sponsors the mainstream media, it is big pharma, and they have been known to shut down programs that actually teach people how to gain true health. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We got to listen to Adam's podcast. It's called transformationcoach.me, right? Your podcast?
That is correct. The transformationcoach.me podcast. I'm pretty much transformationcoach.me. You can search me on Instagram, Facebook. Now, if you guys want to interact with me, get on Instagram, because I am all over it. I've been doing it for like a year, and I've fallen in love with Instagram. And I love interacting with people. Like, I love getting direct messages. It's not, there's a lot of fitness people who are like, I'll try to get to my DMs down the road here. I'll holla at you later. But I'm like, I will write you a book reply. And people are like, dang. And they think it's like my virtual assistant, and I'm like, what is that? I reply to I do this by myself. I don't know if you guys, I'm not famous, I'm probably the least famous person that has been on this podcast, Ashley James. So and I'm not concerned with being that. I am, like you said, it's about the impact. And one of the things I love about your podcast, Ashley, is I love how you describe it as a movement. And I've heard you say that in multiple episodes, the Learn True Health movement. And I feel like we're fighting on the same side of the battle lines. And I want to encourage more health people to take that mindset. I reach out to a lot of health-based podcasters. I want them on my show. I want to be on their show. I want to share their stuff. I'd love to have a platform to share my stuff. And I get a lot of no's, because they're like, well, we are competing for clients. I'm like, we're on the same side of this fight. Let's share.
Right.
Let's get out there. And it's not like I'm looking to steal all your, don't listen to Ashley's podcast anymore. Come over to mine only. And, it's like, that's not what it's about. That's ridiculous. It's about the message that we're trying to get there, and the mission and the movement. And that's what I love about this podcast. So, all you guys out there, as a fellow podcaster, I know what a big deal it is for people to subscribe, to rate the podcast, to leave reviews, because that's how the game works as far as exposing more people to the mission, to the movement, to this message. So I encourage you guys to do that. I even, on the blog post, I told Ashley, learning how to there needs to be a podcast that's not Learn True Health. That's Learn How to Do a Review on iTunes, because it's like a 12-step process. And it's like when I get my kids Christmas presents, and it's like, oh, 5-step assembly, but there's step, 1 A through Z and step 2 A through Z. And that's how leaving a review on iTunes is. So I created a video that shows you exactly how to leave a review on iTunes. So you can follow that process. I want you to leave a review on her podcast and mention this episode. Mention the PhD, mention Adam, mention transformationcoach.me. I'm going to check back with her, and I'm going to give one of you guys a free year membership in my Transformed Academy. So fill out a review. Make sure that you mention something that can be associated with this podcast, and I'm going to hook one of you guys up. So that's another little gift.
That is so cool. Thank you so much, because it's true. Although people can listen on iHeartRadio and Stitcher and Google Music Play, I'm on all the podcast directories. iTunes is the major one, and I've actually for over a year and a half now, I have been in the #1 position in iTunes in the health section for New and Noteworthy. So if you go to your podcast app on your iPhone, or you go to iTunes, you can even have a PC to go to iTunes, and it's a program you can download on your PC if you don't have a Mac. And if you go to the podcast category health, you'll see I'm right there. I'm #1, and I'm so happy, because that is one of the ways that we expose more people to this great information. And how I stay #1 is by your ratings and reviews. So as many 5-star ratings and written reviews and downloads and subscription as I can get on iTunes, that means it stays there at #1, and we can help more and more people. So I don't get like money from that. I just get to help more people. And eventually the podcast grows, the more people I can help. I just know that down the road, I don't like you. I don't focus on the money. Money flows. I'm here to help. I want to help 1 million people. And I've been saying this. I haven't said it recently, but I've been saying this in the podcast, that my goal is to help 1 million people get their health back. And then maybe it'll tip the scales. You get 1 million people to fully get their health back and transform their workplace, and then that transform their church or their synagogue or temple, or or their wherever they go to hang out with their friends. And get enough people, get 1 million people to help all their friends and family, and all of a sudden we've reached 40 million, and so on and so forth. So I just today got an email from someone, really, really cool email from a listener, who thanked me from the bottom of her heart. She, before the age of 30, had cancer, colon cancer, twice.
Wow.
And she is still here, and she's
awesome.
Fighting, and she's using everything she's learned from the podcast to transform her health. And she was writing to thank me, and thank me for all the information, because she's using all the anti-cancer information to heal her body from the chemo and the radiation. And she's here, and she's fighting, and she's grateful for all this information. So it's emails like that make the hours and hours I spend away from my son doing this podcast worth it. So thank you, Adam, for coming on the show. If this show touched you in any way, please share it with your friends. I'd love for more people to know Adam's methodology. Maybe I wasn't ready for the message. I'm not a victim here, so I'm not gonna say this in a negative, but I wish I'd heard this sooner. I wish I'd heard your information sooner. I'm obviously ready to hear it now, and that's why you came into my life. So I know that there's a reason. But I know my 20-year-old self could have really, really, really used your information. And I'm happy that you're here now, because you're going to help a lot of those other people who are ready to hear your message. And so they don't have to go down the same path of years and years of continued suffering, because you're going to help them, and on your way to helping people lose 1 million pounds, right?
That's right. And Ashley, I want to sincerely thank you for saying yes. When I reached out to you, I can't tell you how excited I was to be able, as a fan of the show. It just meant a lot to me, and that I feel like we've got that kindred spirit thing going on. So this may not be the last edition of Ashley and Adam rocking your brain region here. We may reunite the super team, guys. So
I'd love to.
That's what it's all about. And you guys take action. Grab one thing that inspired you, one concept, one little nugget that you can hold on to, and take action with it. And don't delay. I always say people, they get out there and like, well, I'm going to start on Monday or after January or, after the holiday season or whatever. There is no such thing as a perfect time to start your transformation. The perfect time is now. So let's take action. Let's do this and stay plugged in to this podcast, because it is just a wealth of information. Like, I walk away every episode, I'm like, I learned like 5 new things. I need to implement these right away. So if you're new to the podcast, stay with it. Listen to it for a week straight while you drive in your car. You're gonna come away with so many helpful action points, and stay plugged in. So thanks to you, Ashley. I really appreciate you.
Awesome, Adam. Thank you so much. And you're definitely coming back on the show. I want you to be a regular.
All right. I'm down with that, girl. I'm down with that.
Enjoy what you heard today on your episode of the Learn True Health podcast. Did something move you, inspire you? Did you get great information that's going to change your life? Awesome. That's exactly what I'm here to do, is to help you gain your health back. Please turn around and share this. If this is something that's helped you in any way, share this with those you love. Love the Learn True Health podcast and want to support us? Awesome. You can go to takeyoursupplements.com and you can support us that way. You'll get access to amazing supplements that are just really great quality for a great price. And there'll be someone on the other end of the line to help you pick out your supplements that are right for you. That's takeyoursupplements.com. Or join our membership, learntruehealth.com/join. That's another great way to support our podcast, support our movement, and you'll be supporting yourself. Gain more information, wonderful videos, wonderful trainings, and you'll also be able to share those with those you love as well. So go to learntruehealth.com/join. Want something fun for free? Go to learntruehealth.com, and right there on the front page, you'll see where you can get our free cookbook. I spent a lot of time making it, and it was so much fun. It's really delicious, healthy recipes. And you can also get our 7-day doctor course. Right there, it's 7 days of naturopathic videos sent right to your inbox, and you can learn from top naturopaths on how to gain health naturally. So that's takeyoursupplements.com for wonderful supplements. learntruehealth.com/join to join our awesome membership, which is only open for a limited time. You can get our free healthy cookbook, and you can also get for free 7 days of wonderful naturopathic videos sent to you. Just go to learntruehealth.com and you'll see it right there on the front page. Thank you so much for being a listener, and thank you for sharing and helping others. Let's spread this information and turn this ripple into a tidal wave.